Back at her today, no helper. I am putting on the aileron and the aileron tube. So I've done the outboard one. Same as the other one, I carved away a bit of my Horner wingtip so that I could slide that in there to give the aileron enough room to get past the flap, so everything's in here. This is where it's supposed to be. This one's just sitting here loose because you have to have it off, put the aileron on, then just put that on. So all those are good. The aileron torque tube and the aileron hinge are all connected in one. So this is the most complicated piece right here. I've got the aileron torque tube support, the bearings in there. And what I did first of all, I torqued the torque tube and put it through. I looped on that bearing and that bearing. This one's still loose on there. And this one's still loose on there. I've just got it clamped in place. I'll explain that in a second. So I put the torque tube all the way through, looped on the bearing at this end, put it into place and clamped it up so it's kind of in place where it's going to be. I had a clamp on this one, clamping it into place about where it's going to be. This one I just had sitting here, and this one I've still got clamped on there. Put the torque tube through there so it was held in place here, and at the very end spins nicely. Then I took the drilled down all the way through while it was clamped at one side, drilled it all the way through, bolted it, then drilled it through on the other side and bolted it. One little addition I had to make here, because this is out just a little bit, it hung over the block that I had in place, so I added another little block behind there just to give support onto the bearing bracket. So then that one was supported. Again, it was spinning nicely. So I marked this one, clamped it, drilled it, took the clamp off, drilled it again, so it spins nicely. This one I'm going to do the same thing, and I did do the same thing, but what I found was that it's just a little, the L bracket is just a little proud this way, and it's hitting the Geodetic. So I'll take that off. I took the Dremel tool to it, but didn't get enough off there. It's got to be about 1/8 of an inch all the way off there, so that will fit in nice and loosely. I can put it in there, but what happens is, to get it onto there, you have to reef it a bit. All right, camera, you're back at it. Stupid camera. Forgot what I was saying. So anyways, this one, yeah, I'm going to take it and take a little bit off of there. I'll just saw that to make it quick. And that'll slide in there and give it enough room so that it can turn loosely. If I put that in there and bend the torque tube, what it wants to do, it just wants to bind up a little bit. It'll still spin freely, but not as freely, and it'll be rubbing on the Geodetic. And then the one at the end is going to be drilled through there. I'll bolt it on and then take the clamp off and drill through there. Another thing to watch out for is how the Geodetics cross. You see right there, I marked it and I took the Dremel tool to it just to get it away from there, because it was rubbing on there, and on the other side there too it was rubbing on. I took the Dremel tool and just rounded that out. And through here I watched all the Geodetics in there to make sure that there's space, and you can see this one I had to take a bit off with the Dremel tool so that there's space there. And I think I did that with another one as well. So just keep an eye on that. You notice that there's hardly any room in there anyways. And when you're doing up all the different ribs and everything, if one geodetic is just off 1/8 of an inch there, not even 1/16, you just have to give it a little bit of space. So that is the aileron torque tube. I'll pull it out. I'll get that airing put into place. That one and that one are in place. The bearings for the aileron are in place. So I just got to slide that in. And that wing is going to be just about done. A couple little things to finish up. Where the jury strut holders clip on, I have to bolt them on yet. Somewhere around here. There's one right there. It's going to go right there. So the other one will go right up here. And that'll be that for that wing, and then we can get going on the fuselage. Getting the jury strut mounts put in here. No problem with those, just getting those in. Just dropped a plumb line from that to make sure that that one is right on line there. And just a reminder that where you've got these and it says AN310A, none of that really matches up. You have to do your own work there. These are, I believe, 13s that go through there. 10s, I just put an 11 through there, and an 11 doesn't even make it through the wood on the other side. So, probably 13s. Now, the whole reason that I put bearings here instead of friction bearings where they just used a piece of plastic is I thought it would reduce the friction, and I don't know if you can see that. This is how much friction I have. Oops. So those are all on now. And there is zero friction. And that's exactly what I was looking for. Couldn't hope for better than that. All right, just getting things cleaned up here. Flap, aileron are on. They're working fine there. I still have to put the aileron torque lever on there and connect that. I'm going to get on the bench so I can do that where it's sitting level. I just wanted to mention one thing. Just putting on the mounts there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold this. When you're... Hang on, I'm going to get at it. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to try and show you this. Let's say there's your bunch of wood in the middle, and you're putting the bolts through and clamping on the other side. Make sure that the shoulder of the bolt is all the way through the metal part. You do not want the metal riding on, get this off of there, on the screw head like that. The screw part is not as strong as that shoulder. So make sure the bolt goes all the way through and the metal is always riding on that shoulder. So if you're a little bit short like that, swap that nut out, or that bolt out, and get a longer one so that it goes all the way through and it's riding on the shoulder. Because if it's riding on the screws part and it starts wearing a little bit of wearability, it'll wear that screw out faster. That screw part is weaker than the shoulder part. So always have the metal riding on the shoulder. And if you have to put a couple washers in there, then you put a couple washers in there so you can tighten that down good. But that metal part should always be riding on the shoulder of the bolt and not on the threads. You probably already know that. I just thought I would mention that, maybe the first time builder out there. So you don't want it there. You want it right onto the shoulder of the bolts like that. Is that in focus? I can't even tell because I'm not doing it with the thing. So anyways, just one little thing to mention, just a safety issue there. Alrighty.